I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akia who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and, this is Shabai, by the way, from the GMS Denver camp. I'm going to go ahead and, through the Spirit, I'm going to go ahead and go on the indignation of Yahweh. All right. And this is going to be read out of the 34th chapter in Isaiah. And like always, I'm going to start right at the top. It reads, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all the things that come forth of it. For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter." All right, because you hear rumors of wars, right? That's part of the signs of the end. You can go in Matthew 24, it talks about that. But this wars that are that you hear rumors of, it's going to come down to a point where they're going to start to have war in heaven, meaning the heathen nations are going to fight against Yahweh, which his title is the Lord of Hosts, which that means the Lord, one of his titles, and that means the Lord of Armies. All right. So his fury, like it says right here, is going to be upon all nations. And basically what's going to happen is during their World War III, their nuclear battle, they're going to turn their attention to the heavenly host, which is the angels, Let's get that real quick, and we'll go in. I think you can get it in Daniel. It's one spot. 12:1. So it says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth forth the children of thy people, of the Israelites. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book." Because at the same time this war, this nuclear battle is about to happen, the chariots are going to show up on the scene, and they're going to come and destroy, the heathen nations and their armies, especially, Babylon. All right, is going to be destroyed. But President Ronald Reagan in the 80s, he had made a statement with respect to, if there was an alien threat, that he said that he says, "I hope we could put all our differences aside and join forces together and fight the alien force." And he said that because of they understand, the wicked elite, they understand the biblical prophecy. All right, so they know that they know that the chariots are going to be involved in World War III, which you call UFOs. Okay. So that time, Yahweh is going to put the spirit on these heathen nations to fight against Michael and the angels, and really also Yahweh Shai, who will really be the one leading the charge. All right, let's grab this real quick. Matthew 10:34. It says, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword." All right, and that's Yahweh Shai speaking. And then in Isaiah 47:3, it says, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man." All right, so Yahweh Shai, he's coming back in the celestial body, and he's going to be, you can't kill a celestial body. You're the heavenly body. It's eternal. It's you can't kill that's why he says, I shall not meet thee as a man, because he came on the earth during the time of the Romans as a man, aka the Lamb of God, Lamb of Yahweh. Now he's coming back like a fierce lion, and he's going to take vengeance, and he's not going to meet these heathen nations as a man. He's going to be in that celestial body with those chariots, with Michael the archangel, and they're going to wreak havoc on the earth, according to biblical prophecy. All right. Let's see. I think I read it already. I'll read it again. Matthew 10:34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. And I had to come out again. All right. So let me go back to Isaiah 34. Oh, and actually, I want to get Revelation 12. Revelation 12:7. It says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. The serpent, right? A dragon is a serpent. It says, and the dragons fought and his angels, right? So they call their jets angels, like the blue angels, and so on and so forth. It says right here in verse 8, and prevailed not, neither was there a place found in any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. And it says that old serpent. Why? Because that's going back to that serpent in the Garden of Eden, which the serpent was a metaphor. It was a beast, right? It's a metaphor for the so-called white man. He's that old serpent that was that beast in the Garden of Eden, the one that beguiled Eve, all right? And the great dragon was cast out, and that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So, if you want to be you so-called black Latinos and Native Americans, you want to be all you can be, and you go join Esau's army, or you go join his Air Force, or you go join his newly created branch of the military, the Space Force. Well, you're going to have to be, they don't brief you and tell you that you're going to be fighting the angels, and Yahweh Shai and Michael, right? They don't tell you that. But that's what's going to happen. Let me see if I can find this YouTube video really quick. Let's see. I'm going to play this little clip real quick. This is Ron Reagan.
I couldn't help at one point in our discussions privately with General Secretary Gorbachev, when you stop to think that we're all God's children wherever we may live in the world.
Which that's a lie.
I couldn't help but say to him, just think how easy his task and mine might be in these meetings that we held if suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet, outside in the universe. We'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries, and we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings here on this earth together. Well, I don't suppose we can wait for some alien race to come down and threaten us, but I think that between us we can bring about that realization. In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites.
All right. So that was it. I hope you were able to hear that. That was Ron Reagan speaking in the 80s, talking about if there was an alien invasion, that he would hope that, the countries and the nations could join forces. And he said that because they know the prophecies, all right? The wicked elite know the prophecies. They say aliens because they don't know, they don't want. Well, they do. They actually do know that those are the angels. But remember what we read in Revelation 12:7. It says, or actually it was in 9. It says in that it says, and that great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So that's part of his deception. He's deceiving the world because he doesn't come out and tell you the truth. He doesn't tell you that those are the chariots of Israel, right? The chariots of Yahweh. He tells you it's an alien invasion, right? Which they are. Technically, they are aliens because the word alien, it just means a foreigner, because they're foreign to the planet Earth. But they're not little green men or little gray men that are, with big old eyes looking like a giant fetus. You know what I'm saying? Like the aliens they draw up. But the thing is that's not they don't come out and tell you the truth, And then also he started out that speech talking about we're all God's children, which that's also a lie too. Yes, we're all created by the Yahweh, but we're not all his children, right? Yahweh doesn't care about the heathen nations. Let's get a verse to prove that. Let me see. All right. 2 Ezra 6:54, just to prove what that devil said, is a lie. 2 Ezra 6:54 says, and after these Adam also, talking about Adam and Eve, and after these Adam also, whom thou madest, Lord, of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. The ones that he has chosen are the Israelites. Okay. All this have I spoken before thee, O Yahweh, because thou madest the world for our sakes. Ezra is talking about the Israelites for our sakes. That's why the Lord made the world. It's for the Israelites' sake of the Israelites. 56. As for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said they are nothing, but like unto spittle. Meaning, he's telling you that Yahweh looks at the other nations like spit. You spit on the ground, and that's it's a gross, disgusting act. But that's the way that Yahweh looks at the heathen nations. Disgusting, vile, useless. And in their spirit, it basically bears witness that they're the heathen, because they've never kept the laws of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. They've never acknowledged the true Messiah and the true power, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. They don't, so that's a disgusting act, right? And Yahweh created them to be that way, so you have to remember that also. It says, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Yahweh, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. All right? So, as was saying, the heathen, which you go into that word heathen, it literally means nation, which means it's referring to the nation that are outside of the tribes of Israel. But Yahweh looks at them as nothing, okay? But Yahweh has given them, because of our punishment, he's given us unto them as their subjects. They're slaves right now. We've been in multiple different captivities, which is aka slavery. And, the Lord has let him rule over us as our punishment, because we went off, and we're still going off, except for the elect right now in these last days are repenting and coming to the fold and the truth of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. But the rest of our people, who are the 2/3, they're being devoured by these heathen nations. And it's been a repetitive thing, because remember, there's reincarnation in the scriptures. So they were devoured in different captivities, in the ancient Egyptian captivity, in the Babylonian captivity, the Medo-Persian captivity, the Greco-Roman captivity, and fast forwarding to the American captivity. You see, so we've always been devoured by the heathen, which are the nations outside of the tribes of Israel. All right. It says, "But we, thy people, the Israelites, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands." You see that? And then Esdras is asking, "If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?" So Esdras is asking, how long are we going to be under in subjection to the heathen nations? That's what he's asking Yahweh in this chapter. But the main point is Yahweh, he's not for all people, like Ronald Reagan was saying in that video. He's saying, well, we're all God's children. Yeah, we were all created, but Yahweh has a chosen people. All right, and let's grab this to prove the point more. Deuteronomy 7:6, "For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power, and Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth." So we're above all the other nations. We're above the heathen. All right. That's why even in our lowest state, we're even though we're in subjection to the heathen here in Babylon, America. But look at who is basically the trendsetters of America. Who is the who does everybody follows Jake, right? Which Jake is the term we use when we're referring to the Israelites, right? The descendants of Jacob. So Esau knows this. Esau knows that we're the salt of the earth. Let's grab that real quick in Matthew. I think it's Matthew 6. Oh, Matthew 5. But the Israelites, we're the salt of the earth, as in we have the flavor. Our people have flavor. Watch the way we dance. Watch how we cook. Watch how we sing. The Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans we're above the heathen. All right? Matthew 5:13. It says, "Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and be trodden under the foot of men. Ye are the light of the world, a city that is set on a hill that cannot be hid." So we're the salt, but we're the light of the world. And who's the light? The light are the elect, the ones who hearken to the truth, the ones who repent, the ones, well, let me read 15. "Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house." Right. So this is talking about the Israelites. We're the light. Remember, I told a couple videos ago, I told you that the light is a metaphor for the knowledge. So when we share this truth, we teach this knowledge. We're literally like a light on a hill that can't be hid. You see? But the problem is only 1/3 of our people are gonna, be drawn to the light, if you will. The 2/3 of our people they're gonna basically, they're gonna stay in darkness. They're gonna walk right past the light. They're not gonna pay no mind to the light. They're not gonna pay no mind to the truth. They're gonna instead reject knowledge, right? So let's go to Hosea 4:6. It says, "My people," which his people are the Israelites, "are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children." So Yahweh is telling you that, hey, you Israelites, you reject knowledge, so he's going to reject you. And that's prophecy is fulfilled through the 2/3, because 2/3 of our people reject this knowledge. They're not considered a priest. To be a priest, you have to know the true laws of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And really, the whole entire nation of Israel is supposed to be a priest. The men are supposed to be priests, meaning you're supposed to know the truth. But because our people are hard-headed and stubborn, You know, they're not considered priests. Yahweh doesn't look at them as a priest because they're basically reprobates. You know, our people don't believe. The majority of our people don't believe. The men who are out there teaching on the street corners. You know, instead they hang on. I always say this. It's like a broken record, but you have to repeat yourself for a bunch of niggas and spicks and tomahawks, because our people are hard-headed and they don't fucking listen, and they don't hearken, they don't learn, they're hard-headed, right? But that's, let's go back to Isaiah 34. It says, verse 3, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses. And this is punishment to the heathen nations and also to the 2/3 of Israel that don't want to listen. And the mountains shall be melted with their blood. You see that? Why is that going to happen? Because it's going to be a nuclear battle, nuclear war. Verse 4, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. All right, and that scroll, is dealing with that, how when they set a nuclear bomb, they release a nuclear bomb, and that scroll, it's like a mushroom cloud in the heavens. That's what that's dealing with. Verse 5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and the people of my curse to judgment. All right. So the sword, the modern day sword, is that nuclear missile. It's the waster, right? Let's get Isaiah 54 and 17. It's actually 16. It says, Isaiah 54:16, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and have created the waster to destroy. See that? So Yahweh, he's that, he's allowed these heathen nations to have the technology to create the waster, which is for a destruction, and the waster is going to waste everything, along with the chariots that Yahweh is going to, the heavenly host, right? The heavenly army of Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai, Michael and Michael the archangel and the angels, they're all going to be a part of that destruction. All right. So let's go back to Isaiah 34. But that's that sword that's going to be bathed in heaven, is going to be that missile, those ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. Isaiah 34 and 6, the sword of Yahweh is filled with blood, it is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and of goats, and the fat of the kidneys of rams. And for Yahweh hath a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom. All right, and we know that Bozrah was a chief city in Edom. So the Edomites, right, and that's their chief city. That was like their capital. Bozrah was the capital of Edom. So we know this is referring to the sacrifices and the goats and the lambs. The lambs being the Israelites, the goats being the heathen, and it's really mainly Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. That's why Alexander, he was known as a goat, right? In the Bible. Alexander the Greek. Alexander, they call him Alexander the Great. But we call him Alexander the Freak, or Alexander the Greek. In prophecy, he's a goat. He's referred to as a goat. Just like they do with their their best sports players. They call Tom Brady the GOAT here in Babylon. They call Michael Jordan the GOAT, or LeBron. Even though they're Israelites, they're here to pay homage and be nobles in the land of Idumea, aka Babylon, America. But you get the point. The goats And the lamb dealing with the Israelites, because that's the flock. But you have the sheep have been scattered, and only 1/3 of the sheep, which a sheep is a lamb, are going to be brought back into this knowledge and have deliverance, or have salvation. And those chariots are going to, I always tell you, they're a double-edged sword, because they're going to deliver the righteous lambs, and they're going to slaughter, along with the nuclear missiles, the wicked 2/3, which are those wicked sheep that they don't repent. And also really the sheep, the wicked 2/3, they might as well be a goat, right? They're in the mindset of a heathen. They might as well be an Edomite in that time, even though they're gonna have a blessing as far as in the kingdom. All Israel will be righteous in the kingdom, but they have to die a heathen death prior to the kingdom, the 2/3 I'm speaking of. So let's keep reading. It says, and the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made with fatness. For it is the day of Yahweh's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. All right. And one of the controversy of Zion is, you have these 1948ers, aka we call them the small hats, which are the fake JOOOSs. All right. So those people are claiming to be the people of Yahweh, but that's a controversy, because now we're out here telling you we're the children of Yahweh, that's the controversy of Zion. Zion's another word for the Israelites, or Israel. All right. So let me keep reading. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever, from generation to generation. It shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. And this is talking about the aftermath of Babylon, after it's been annihilated by nuclear missiles and chariot fire. And remember, the chariot is what you ignorantly call a UFO. It says in verse 11, but the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it, the owl also, and the raven shall dwell in it, and shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness. They shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there, and all her princes shall be nothing. And a noble is like a famous person, or somebody of high stature, of high rank. So like your Donald Trumps, your Denzel Washingtons, all these nobles, they're not, it's going to be a bloodbath. And thorns shall come up in her palaces, nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof, and it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls. So, this place is going to be a destruction. There's not going to be nothing left, man. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow and screech. Owl also shall rest there and find for herself a place of rest. So the wild beasts dealing with men, right? The desert, maybe those Arabians, the men from Arabia. The wild beasts of the island, wherever there's an island, these people they're not keeping the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, they're considered wild beasts. A satyr is like a metaphor for someone who just lives for pleasure, debauchery, you see. It says, there shall the great owl make her nest, and lay and hatch, and gather under the shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, everyone with her mate. Right, and these are like unclean birds, like the vultures. They're the scavengers, and the Lord promises those birds a feast on the day of when all these people are going to get slaughtered. Let's get that real quick. The birds are going to feast on these dead carcasses, these people just lying dead on the earth, that are if they're not melted from the nuclear missiles, But the aftermath, the Lord has promised those birds of the fowls of the air. That's what a bird is. He's promised them a feast. Let's get that real quick. Revelation 19 and 17. 19 and 17. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, again, a fowl is a bird, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power, the Most High, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, and small and great. See? So that's what it is. Remember, we read the nobles and all them, they weren't going to be there. They're just going to be dead. And the birds are going to eat them up, man. Ravens, vultures. Isaiah 34. Where am I at? It says, seek ye out of the book of Yahweh and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. All right? And this is talking about seek Yahweh out of the book, which the book is the Bible. Because none of the prophecies are going to fail. And no other book can mate with the Bible. The only thing that can, they took out the Apocrypha, and that's why the Apocrypha matches with, it says the same thing, that talks about the destruction. It talks about, it basically parallels, because it used to be, before they removed it from the Old Testament, it used to be part of the Old Testament. But that's the only books that mate is the scriptures. They mate together. The Old Testament, with the Apocrypha, which technically is the Old Testament, and the New Testament, they all support each other. They say the same things. They speak on the same prophecies. You see? It says, for my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. Right? And who's it gathering? Yahweh Bashem Yashai is going to gather the elect. All right? You're going to have the destruction, the 2/3 and the heathen will be destroyed, but the elect are going to be gathered. Shit, I almost hit the wrong thing. It says in Matthew 24 and 30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with heaven, with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. The four winds is north, east, west, south. All right? Or all the different areas where the armies are. The elect is going to be gathered, and it's going to be gathered by those Son of Man coming in the clouds. That's Yahweh Shai coming. The cloud is a metaphor for chariot. You can read that. We can prove that in Psalm 104 and 3. I'll do that real quick. Psalm 104 and 3. It says, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, which the chamber is the chariot, what you call a UFO, a beam coming out of that chariot. It says, who maketh the clouds his chariot. All right, who walketh upon the wings of the wind, who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire. See, so the spirits can't be killed. That's why when Yahweh Shai says, I shall not meet you as a man, because he's going to be in that angelic, spiritual, celestial body. All right? And the clouds are going to be the chariot, which that's what Yahweh Shai, that's why it says in Matthew 24, he's going to come with power and great glory, because those chariots are powerful and they're also beautiful. They're beautiful to behold. All right? And you go to Matthew 24. I'll read it again. The bottom of your verse 30. Well, I'll read the top. Matthew 24:30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, Yahushai, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. They're gonna cry because they're gonna be shamed. They'll be sad. They're like, man, they'll be, sad for what the 2/3 and the heathen had done to Yahushai when he was in Rome. They put him on the cross and they killed him, right? And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he's going to appear as a so-called black man, not no damn white Jesus. But he's coming in those clouds. We just read the chariot is the cloud. And it says, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet. You're going to hear a trumpet blow, which that's a warning sound. And then you're going to see Michael, the archangel, Yahushai, the chariots, and they're going to come and wreak havoc. And then they're going to deliver the elect. The ones who are written in the book of life will be taken up. All right? They're going to gather his elect. The word elect means his chosen, and his chosen are only Israelites, his chosen people. But it's even more exclusive because you have the elect. It means the chosen, even of his people, there's a chosen. All right? But don't get it twisted. All of Israel, even the 2/3, will be blessed in the kingdom. But they have to die like a goat during that sacrifice in Basra, Idumea, like we read earlier. All right, and let me see. I think I got one more verse to read in Isaiah 34. It says, and he hath cast the lot for them, and his hand hath divided it unto them by line. They shall possess it forever. From generation to generation shall they dwell therein. Right. So there's a lot. You got the lot of the elect and the lot of the heathen and the lot of the 2/3. And we all know the lot according to the Bible. Well, the prophets know, the teachers. We know that the lot of the elect is to go up in a chariot and receive salvation. That's what true salvation is. The lot of the 2/3 is to be burned in the nuclear fire or to die by the sword or to die of famine. The lot of the heathen, also the same thing. But the lot in heaven, in the kingdom, the heathen are going to be slaves. Okay? Tell us, we can read about that real quick in Isaiah. I'll grab the one in 14. It says here, I'll read 14:1. It says, for Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids. Those are slaves. And they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Remember, I read about the heathen nations devouring us, and we've been in subjection as punishment unto the heathen. So now it's going to be our turn in the kingdom. We're going to rule over our oppressors. All right? This is Bible prophecy, okay? And this is verse 3. It says, and it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from thy hard bondage, which bondage means slavery, wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased and the golden city ceased? All right. And the golden city is a metaphor for America, Babylon. This is that golden city. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and close out on that. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, want to acknowledge all the Akim who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, and may you endure unto the end. Shalom.